Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you beautiful people are in this multiverse. Welcome to our new moon ritual in March. We have a snowstorm outside. We have a lot of energies going on today. Um, there is a crazy alignment of planets. It's like they're starting to all line up. We're going to be talking about that a little bit, the astrology going on, and mostly we're going to be working on how to play with this dark moon energy, which is not the same as your regular new moons. And what I mean by that is that today the moon was at 0 degrees in Pisces, or actually, she was at 0 degrees in Aquarius, technically. And that means that like she went fully dark when she aligned into her new moon. And a dark moon is time for like deep inner work. And the fact that for tropic astrology, this is also the Pisces full moon, we're going to mix together a little bit more of an unconscious practice, a subconscious practice, if you want to call that. So we're going to do a meditation today that's going to really get us down into those depths and get some things bubbling up to the surface. I love this moon because, well, because I play with both Vedic and tropic astrology. I love watching the mixture of the elements. So in Vedic astrology, again, Vedic is based on astronomy. It's based on a much older practice, and you can read textbooks about it way before you ever see anything about the equinox and Aries, and how in tropic we start everything in Aries at the spring equinox, and everything, all of the signs are built off of that, versus Vedic is built off of the actual astronomy. So if you were to like take out your Google Sky Maps and like put your phone up to where the moon is, you would see that she's actually in Aquarius right now. Like right there with like all sorts of other things. Neptune's up in there, Venus, like there's a lot going on. Um, but the energy of that is that the tropic is always focused on the future. So the tropic is always like a couple, like 23 days forward. And that is water. That's the Piscean energy. But because of where she is actually in the sky, we've got that air energy of the Aquarius. And I know Aquarius sounds like aqua, like it should be a water sign. It's not, it's an air sign. And so I always think about bubbles. When I think about water and air together, I think about my 3-year-old blowing bubbles into her water cup. So even though we're going to be going deep into our meditation, it's to allow for the playfulness of bubbles to like just be able to be brought to the surface, brought to your awareness, so that we can then you can then look at them. So you'll see um, in the description here are some journal prompts, and that's just for you to go on your own time later if you want to. We are going to be kind of hitting on a couple of them, but for the most part, we're going to just be following the channeling as we do. So let's go ahead and set our sacred space by getting our candle. I have it in my big selenite thing today. So and light our candle with the intention of clear communications, of connecting to this new moon energy, to releasing any unconscious blocks that are stopping us from manifesting the future that we desire, and to tap into the playfulness and the fun of getting together in community to hold ritual sacred space as we collectively work together in bringing about the new age, the age of Aquarius, letting go of the Piscean age. See how this is all playing into each other, and just really enjoying. Sorry, I laughed onto my candle and it burnt it out. And really just enjoying each other's company for the next hour ish as we traverse this new moon, dark moon energy, do a little bit more resting and reflecting, not so much of an active ritual. I know a lot of you guys are still reeling from the full moon ritual and the swamping we did. I'm still getting messages from that. So, okay, set our intention. As always, we light our incense. My incense is like stuck in my albacore shell right now, guys. Like it's not a joke, so we're just gonna do it this way. We work with what we got. The end of this incense is just like super big. It doesn't pull out. Okay. This is gonna look kind of funny, but whatever. So, as always, we wave. It is kind of funny though. It's a shell. It's got the air cut. Like, come on, that's hilarious. We bring our incense in a figure eight motion, the infinity symbol, bringing all polarities into the singularity, just creating this nice, sacred, delicious space. If you need to add some extra saging, get your own auric field, do it. And we'll just let that sit right here. So, Age of Aquarius. I've also been channeling all morning and my nose is dripping and I'm really sorry. I'm also gonna turn off my heater. So hopefully you can hear me better. So, the Age of Aquarius. This is the new moon in Aquarius in Vedic. So yes, we're going here. We are super conscious leaders. We are here to build new Earth, which means that we are here to create the infrastructure required for an entire planet and her inhabitants to shift two planes of consciousness into the fifth dimension. This is not an easy job. By any stretch of the imagination. This is going to take every little bit of who you are, who you were, who you are becoming, to really move your energy into this new age and to stand up as the leader of this golden age of miracles, to stand up as a leader in your home, in your business, in your community, in your country. We have so many leadership positions that are going to be opening up. Like literally, if you think about the age of people who run the world right now, they all going to be dying soon. And we want to have more people like us that have this really in-depth esoteric knowledge and mindset work and like know how to hack the law of attraction to help bring global consciousness on board in a really easy, playful way. So while I say the work isn't easy, the way that we're going to get everyone else on board, it's very much black ops. It's like infiltrating the things they already spend their money on and they just like don't even realize that it's now super conscious instead of like breeding fear. That all of the music they're listening to and all of the movies they watch and all of it actually have subliminal messaging still, yes, but the subliminal messaging is you can do this, you're amazing, you are worthy, magic is real, dragons are real, you can fly, you can bilocate, you have superhuman powers, instead of the current rhetoric of the subliminal messaging, which is, death, destruction, fear, lack, salmon. Salmon? Famine. Apparently, I really want some fish. Okay. So the age of Pisces is the old age that we just exited out of the Great Conjunction, which was on the winter solstice of this last year. So we had Saturn and Jupiter in conjunction. They made this big Star of Bethlehem looking thing in the sign of Aquarius. And the old Piscean age, this is really easy. This is something that I was taught by a mentor, teacher, I don't know, in a class that I was in. I take lots of classes and workshops. So if I ever say something and you're like, that was my workshop, feel free to like call it out. I probably don't actually remember because I like really do take in a lot of information. But the the analogy is this, is that the old age of Pisces was, oh my gosh, you're dirty. You are like dirt. You're a fucking filthy dude. Like you need a bath. You need a bath really badly. Come to my house, pay me some money. I will get you all bathed. I will soap you. I will scrub you. I will like get the bottoms of your feet. I will wash your hair for you. I will use all of my oils. I will rub you down with lotion and then I will send you on your way, which is great. There's lots of people out there who've made a lot of money being a leader and teacher in that way. Except the caveat is that they didn't actually teach you anything. You needed the healer, right? Like you had to go to your weekly Reiki sessions and you had to make sure that you were showing up to your Kundalini classes. Like because you didn't know how to do it. You just knew that you went to this person and they did some things for you and you always felt way better afterwards. But what exactly they were doing You weren't really sure. You didn't know how they were scrubbing your hair. You weren't exactly sure how they were like choosing which blends of oils to put on you to help you to not stink. And the stink being like your healing journey, right? Like your traumas and your stories and your old belief systems and all of that stuff. That was your stink. And in the old age of Pisces, the healers and the leaders, they would fix it for you, right? They were your fixers and they would fix it for you. Like, here, come into my house and I'll give you a bath. Versus the Age of Aquarius, which I'm sure you guys are going to figure out because I'm here every week talking about this all the time, is come, dude, you stink. Like, whew, honey, you got some belief systems, you got some trauma, you got all these things. Come to my house. Let me show you how to give yourself a bath. Come to my house. Like, this is water. Turn on the water. Teach them about what water is. Here is soap. This is what we do with soap. Here's how you scrub your hair. Here's how you wash your feet. This is a pumice stone. Let's rub out those like things on the bottom of your feet. Here's the oils. Here's the blends that I use. Here's why I'm choosing these blends for you. Here, let me give you some to take with you. And then you leave the house and you're like, I don't ever have to come back here. I can literally just go bathe myself. I'll, like, if I want someone to give me a bath, I know where to go, right? That's how a lot of my clients are. They know when they need a dragon tune up. They come to me because I hold the codes for dragon energy. I'm able to really go in there and fine tune things. But for the most part, I'll work with a client for 90 days and then not see them or talk to them for 6 months, right? It's not this like, oh, you just finished a package with me? Let's up level you into a new package. Okay, you just finished that package with me. Let's up level you into a new package. No, I'm giving you the tools so you can bathe yourself. That is the Age of Aquarius. The Age of Aquarius is everyone is a healer. Everyone is an innovator. Everyone is a thought leader. Everyone is an inventor. Everyone is working together to create the most beautiful, delicious planet we can imagine while still knowing that we live on a planet where polarities exist. We're just shifting the center of the polarity so that instead of having like, I had a great day, this is my average, and I had a really shitty day, it's like, your current average day is like gonna be your new low is what happened. So we're now just like the really bad stuff just doesn't exist anymore in the new age. Okay, you still have lows and highs because we do still swing in a pendulum, but your lows now are like things that they're just like a regular day, like, oh, you got a bill, it's like it doesn't cause you to like catastrophize any longer. That's that depth, right? That's that Pisces depth. The Aquarius is all about going up, 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 flying. Like we were all fish swimming in a sea, and now we're flying with the eagles. I'm gonna fly like an eagle till I'm free. Okay, and I have a feeling I can't see the comments, so I'm just gonna pull up this live stream on my phone real quick and make sure that I can see it. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yep, look at all these comments. Hey, hello, Christopher. Hi, everyone. Yes, relatable and reaffirming. Perfect. Sometimes I can't see the comments when I'm actually live, so I have to pull it up on my phone. Because then I feel bad. Like, I'll go do the whole live stream and be like, really? It says it's 7 people are watching. No one was here? Okay, so now that we understand the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius, now you can see why this new moon, this dark moon, is a really powerful, potent portal, especially as we're leading into the equinox, which is next Saturday. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Once you guys learn how to work with the energies, like I did the live 2 days ago on working with the energies of the moon, right? Once you really start being able to like feel these energies, instead of how before, like I created an entire course called the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp, which you can get for free if you go and buy Ascension Volume 1 for $1 on my website. So I'll leave that link. But in the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp, you learn about all the different bodies, the physical body, mental body, emotional body, and the spiritual body, and how they interplay together and how the energy fields surrounding us do affect our own energy, but we can then learn. So a lot of people might start coming to me and they've got autoimmune diseases and pain all over their body and anxiety and depression and just like stressed out beyond belief. And when these big energy portal come, they're like, oh my God, I'm a fucking empath. I hate being an empath. It's so hard. It's just like my body's being crushed and there's so much emotion and there's so many feelings. And I just don't know how to feel inside of my body. And the moon is doing this, and now I have headaches and I have stomach aches and just like all the ascension symptoms, right? Like all of them: heart palpitations, dizziness, ear ringing, night blindness, blah, blah, blah. Like literally everything. And I'm not a doctor, so like please go consult a physician. But at the same time, a lot of physicians aren't going to recognize what's going on in your body as like your DNA structure is going from carbon based to crystalline based, right? Like you have to be discerning in your own bodies. Like, is this something I need Western or Eastern medical professional help with? Or is this an ascension symptom that is like a disconnect between me and universal intelligence? So, with this, we need to understand that eventually you're going to switch. So, while a lot of you might be like, oh my God, she's totally right. Like, I could sleep for 17 days. Eventually you get to this point where you're like, oh my God, it's a high, there's going to be like 7 planet in conjunction and all lined up and this, hell yeah, let's go. And you're ready to grab your surfboard. You're ready to go like ride the cosmic waves because you know how to handle them. You know that what's on the other side. You know that everything is just getting bigger, brighter, and more powerful for you. So you you learn how to hook into those energies and integrate them, and you have a strong container. You're no longer like, oh, I'm an empath, I feel all the feels. You're like, I feel it all. I feel it all. And when I feel it all, I am tuned in, I am tapped in, I am turned the fuck on. Like, yes, let's go get them. Right? That's the dragon energy, right? Dragons, yeah, they sleep for a couple hundred years, but then when they're up, they are up and they are ready and they are going, right? So I just want to make sure that I can see your comments. Nope. There we go. I can see them live now. Okay. I used to be all over the place. Now I feel like I'm rock. I'm a rock most of it. Yes. Created the nurture map, which is designed to be the last self-help model you'll need. Yep, like carrying your own life coach in your back pocket. Not focused on solution based, but showing people how to unlock themselves over and over again. Yep, PowerPoints over pain points. Perfect, Christopher. That's amazing. Sorry, I had to like switch it so I was watching myself live so I could see the comments because it's freaking ridiculous. So let's see here. Do we have Hi Jen? I wanted to see if I can pull up the questions because there's a question that is in the journal prompts that is actually bugging me to be asked right now, but of course I don't have those pulled up right now. Dun, dun. Okay. All right. So with this age of this new moon that we're in, this dark moon, again, you can set intentions with any new moon at all. And right now is actually a really good time to set intentions for like especially loving energies. If you've had like love lost or anything like that recently, you're just ready to like have a whole new fresh start. Um, that's like right now is a really good time to work with that energy just because the um Venus is so close to the moon right now. So the planet of love is like really close to the moon. Like I said, like the pull out your phone, look at where the planets are, see how they're all lined up within Aquarius and Capricorn and Pisces right now, and it's like so much energy that you can use them as portals. So, what parts of you are dying, transforming, or transfiguring? That's one thing that we're going to really be like kind of looking at with this meditation that we're going to do here in a minute. And you're within these subconscious thought patterns, we have to remember like and honor who we were, right? And I talk about this all the time. I had fibromyalgia, I had autoimmune disease known as fibromyalgia. My whole body was in constant pain, like constantly in pain. Every muscle in my body hurt. Every cell in my body hurt. My brain hurt. Like just functioning to be alive hurt. Medicine like traditional Western medicine didn't work. It actually made me like way worse and go a little like crazy, and I would drive without knowing, and I would rage out, and I would do all these things. So I started using cannabis instead, which really helped me a lot. But I remember the thoughts that I had when I was laying on the bed, crippled by pain, right? Just crippled by it. Like, what's the point? What is, like, why am I existing? Like, why would God do this to me? What did I do wrong, right? So I know what those thoughts are. So that now, as someone who is totally cured of fibromyalgia, completely cured of degenerative arthritis, I don't have any of those diseases anymore. No more bipolar, no more any of it. I don't have any. If I was diagnosed with it prior to 2018, I don't have it anymore. Okay, let's just put it that way. And I got diagnosed with a lot of things, y'all. Um, but I know how she thought, right? Because I am her and she is me. But now I can use those thought patterns as like a trigger point of like, why is this happening to me? Oh, wait, hold on. That's like a old version of Karen thought. And I can immediately switch that to a, how is this working out for me? Okay. This is what I mean by you learn how to brainwash yourself. You literally have to brainwash yourself because, yeah, you have years and years and years and years and years and years of the old way of thinking. And so it feels comfortable. Like you have to really learn how to distinguish between the sound of your intuition guiding you and the sound of your trauma, like trying to keep you safe. Okay. So if you start having thoughts of like, oh, why is this happening? And you know that a why is this happening thought ends up leading you down a rabbit hole where you're looking for razor blades and trying to get into the bathtub, which, sorry, suicide is a really big thing and it has to be talked about. It's a thought where a lot of us go. I hold the death code, so I help you to literally transcend your fear of death. Like, I promise you that is a huge thing that I do because you have to be willing to die to be a leader. Like Martin Luther King Jr., Joan of Arc, Susan B. Anthony, all of these people knew that they could die for their cause, and yet they were willing to show up consistently every single day because they knew that the power of their movement was more important than their own individual life. Okay. But we also have this thing in our society, it's backdoor, it's called suicide, and that's also a free will choice. You have every right to do that if that's what you like. You have nothing to live for. But that's what it is. You have nothing to live for. So let's start reframing it. And that's again a very Piscean, like dark, deep down this way sort of energy flow. Like I have nothing to live for. There's no reason why I should continue breathing. Again, free will universe. You have every right to choose that. But what if we had more people focusing on like what is there to live for? Why do I have reasons to live? What are my big aspirations? So going from this deep, dark, heavy, the ocean is heavy, you guys. Like water pressure in the ocean is no fucking joke, right? Can crush shit. And instead move to the lighter, airier energies of Aquarius, where instead of being weighed down, you're being lifted, right? It's the difference between like, why is everyone all of a sudden talking about I want to learn how to levitate? Because you can eventually release yourself from this belief system that gravity exists to the point where you're eventually levitating or using telekinesis, right? And you're moving shit around like Prue and Charmed. That's a construct, that's a belief system that you have built in. So, why am I talking about this? So, with this new moon, asking yourself which parts of you are dying or transforming or transfiguring is what parts of me do I know are the old me that I get to now just be aware that when those thought patterns start coming in, that's a chance for me to course correct. That's a chance for me to rewrite my story. That's a chance for me to be like, I honor you. You're right. That is a thought I used to have, and I don't think that way anymore. Instead of why is this happening to me, it's how is this working out for me? What is the lesson? Where is the miracle? Right? And then with that as well is what aspects of yourself have you been hiding? Like, where is the treasure in the deep? That when we open it is just going to like automatically float to the top. And these are some things we're going to really dive into here in another minute or two once we do the meditation. But I'm just kind of getting your psyche like prepared for it. like the treasure in the deep? What's going to just like float to the surface? What is the parts that you've been keeping hidden? Are you a brilliant artist? Are you, and you're just like afraid of sharing your art with the world? Are you an amazing speaker, but every time you think about getting on the stage, you're like, I have no voice, right? How do you show up? What is the aspect of yourself that's just like it's been hidden and it needs to be reclaimed, like reclamation of power? And then how can you really like embrace and empower and nurture yourself through this transition of going from the Piscean age to this age of Aquarius, from going from who you were, honoring who you are right now in this journey, but knowing that you are becoming the person that you were born to be, right? Joan of Arc says that. That's her famous line. I was born to do this. 17-year-old farm girl talking to Archangel Michael, leading the French army to victory over the English after the Hundred Years' War. 3 battles she fought, and she was able to turn all of that around. And when asked, why did you do that? She said, it was what I was born to do. That's who we are as super conscious leaders. Joan of Arc's a dragon. We are dragons. This is what we were born to do. And it means that we have to go through and just make sure that all of it's all cleaned up, like nice, clean energy. This is okay. This is how it's been, and it's gonna still be that way. And I need to be very aware of how the old world works, but I don't need to be focused on how the old world's gonna be destroyed. I need to be focused on what we're building up here. Right? I need to be focused on building new earth. How does my energy focus on creation instead of destruction? Because we know shit's fucked. We know it's breaking. How do we funnel that energy up into new earth instead of what mainstream media and other light workers are even doing? Like they focus so much on the destruction and protecting yourself from the destruction that the energy is still being circulated over here, and none of it's being siphoned and put into the creation of new earth. And we need more people to just like, yeah, it's broken, but this is what we're building instead. Okay. And then yeah, so then there's some other journal entries or journal questions you can look at. I don't know if I put them into the topic for the live, so I'll make sure I edit. It's in the event in the group. I have a dear friend that has that countless root canals. We'll definitely be sending her. Yes, I've been keen to find out. Yeah, yeah. Root canals, like teeth issues, that's ancestral. Like you can literally look. There's an amazing book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. It's one of my favorite books ever. So one of like so far the most comprehensive book I've found on relating like an area of the body to what is the trauma that's being stored there. And I am a myofascial release body worker and like neuromuscular unwinder. Like this is my thing that I have done for 13 years, and I have my own like extensive research that I'm putting into my book, Reclaim Your Divinity Through Your Posture. And I still use Feelings Buried Alive Never Die as a reference point, right? Like sometimes there's just things that I'm like, I'm really not sure exactly how the clavicle relates to the body, right? And then I can go to this book and there's a whole section on the clavicle and why it's up this way versus why is it this way? How can we go like this? How can we do that? Like the teeth is ancestral. Um, and fibromyalgia. Yeah, fibromyalgia is literally fibromyalgia is physicalized PTSD. That's it. So physicalized PTSD meaning my pain, my trauma and my emotional and mental state were so out of whack that it was causing my energy fields to create physical pain and discomfort and weight and heaviness in my body. So I weighed almost 200 pounds. My body was like constantly like can't even do it anymore because it like really actually physically hurts me to go sit back in the position that I used to sit in for like my whole life. I even like have to tilt. Like if I sit all the way up straight, guys, like I have to tilt my camera, all the things. So I am an Aquarius and I feel like everything in my life has been building up to this point. Feeling the age of Aquarius is my time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm an Aquarius rising, so I feel that, right? Like we're all of a sudden like, oh my God, this is the party. I knew I was going to a party. I've known since I was born that I was going to a party, and here's the party, right? And that's why we get to continue being bright and shiny lights, right? Big dragons, big, 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 big dragons. That little one. We're not that cute little dragon. You know that gif that's like the dragon that's the size of the teacup that just like makes a little like heart. No, we're not those dragons. We could get that small if we wanted to, like pocket size for your convenience, sort of thing, like Mushu. But we're big. We know that our energy takes up a whole city if we want to, or bigger. Like it could take up the whole world. um, Aquarius rising too. No wonder I resonate. Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, so that's where we're at. We have this knowledge inside of us. So we're going to do this meditation. We're going to go down to our deep ancient knowledge in our Atlantean roots. Atlantis is at the bottom of the ocean, y'all. So there's a way for us to connect to that energy through this Pisces, right? Looking for the future. We're going to find our treasure and we're going to help lift it up to the surface. So just to give you guys like, I don't tend to do that for my meditations because half the time I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but that's really coming in strong that if you zone out and you don't really go anywhere and whatever, you have to come back. This is what we're focused on. We're going into the depths of our history, like the knowledge we actually still have in our crystalline DNA, and we're going to activate it and get it to rise to the surface so that that knowledge is what we're emanating out. That's what we're teaching now. We're teaching the old ancient knowledge and fusing it with the future that we can see, right? We're creating that bridge between ancient magic and future technology and creating that bridge within our own neurological system in our own nervous system so that we can hold the body resonance field so that when other people come into our sphere, they're like, who are you? What are you? And how do I pay you to work with you? Or how can I help? Right? Like, what, like, you have a vision, like Martin Luther King Jr., he was the why guy. He had all sorts of how people, right? He knew why he was doing what he was doing. Like, I know why I'm on this planet. I was born to be a bringer of dragon energy, to have a global Kundalini awakening, and to usher in this new age of Aquarius by helping the planet shift to degrees of consciousness in the physical plane. So physically moving our planet from third dimension to fifth dimension. That's why I exist in this physical corporeal form known as Karin Terrace. But I have very little idea how we're going to do that. The how people are out there, right? So like it's the same thing. Like, not everyone in, Southwest Airlines, the guy who owns Southwest Airlines, who first made it, his why was creating affordable air travel so that the average person would choose to fly versus drive their car. How he was going to do that, he had a whole team for that, right? Henry Ford didn't know how they were going to build the eight piston fucking whatever, the V8 engine, but he just knew that it was going to be in like a year goes by. As scientists are like, dude, you cannot build a V8. And Henry Ford's like, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it in my head. I've been there. Like, it's there. Like, it exists. Go figure out how to make it. He never did anything. Like, he was never in the shop trying to figure that out. He had scientists for 3 years. They come back to him and they're like, Henry Ford, dude, like, we cannot make a V8 engine out of a single cast mold. Like, that shit's impossible. It's not. He's like, no, I don't believe you. It's totally doable. Go figure it out, right? Superconscious leaders don't need to be how people. We need to be loud why people. We need to be magnets. We need to walk into those rooms. People want to know who we are, what we are, how can they help us with our vision, because we are so strong. We know how it was. We know what we want, and we are going to do whatever it takes, no matter what, to get to the new age. Shifting a whole planet and all of her inhabitants into the fifth dimensional plane, like Karnak, which is the sister planet to Earth that circles Sirius B. We know them as the Syrian Star Nation or the Hathor Star Nation. You might know either of them. But they're on a planet right now called Karnak. It's just in fifth dimension, physically in fifth dimension, so we can't see it. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I'm going to. Yeah, we're going to do our meditation, and then I've got a couple of dragon cards here that want to be talked about, but they're waiting. They want to wait until the end. So go ahead and get comfortable. So whatever that means, whether that's sitting in half lotus, we're going to be in this meditation for about 10 to 15 minutes. So whatever is most comfortable for you to connect into this deep space. Hell yeah, Carla. Hell yeah, from Memphis. I feel you. That's exciting. Um, so about 10 to 15 minutes for this meditation. If you want to lay down, feel free to. This isn't one of those. Sometimes I have us do standing meditations. No, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be able to go deep. So I will give you all just a minute or so to grab some pillows, a blanket if you want to. It's literally snowing outside here in Utah, so I know it's cold in other places too. Um, and we're gonna try to see if this works. Hmm. I'm just gonna try to get some music. Hell yeah. Helping my mom clean and reorganize her house and throw at least a quarter of all her stuff. Yes, that's amazing. Okay. We're just gonna pull up some delicious binaural beats to have in the background of this, just because I like to take pauses sometimes. Oh, we're gonna do this one. Oh, sorry guys. Hold please. Okay. Can you guys hear the music okay? It's faint. Yeah, I want to have one that's a little bit louder. This one is super quiet. Is that one better? Yay, thank you, Carla. Thank you. Okay, so go ahead. Connecting into your space, just getting comfortable, laying down on the ground, closing your eyes. Just connecting to your heart center. Heart beating in your chest. feeling the heartbeat in your chest. Knowing that you are safe, you are loved, you are protected in all ways. And just allow yourself to be surrounded in a beautiful rainbow-colored egg. Allow yourself to be surrounded by this egg, knowing that you are held, knowing that you are safe. And allow this egg to really take on this like iridescent sheen of more of like a bubble. Okay, so you're in Glinda the Good Witch's big bubble from Oz. It's got all these rainbow hues, and you're totally safe within this bubble. You can poke your bubble and it won't pop. Other things can poke your bubble, like if you run into some coral or something, you're fine. It's not going to pop that way. This bubble is semi-permeable. Semi-permeable, though. Meaning that any belief systems, anytime you're ready to let go of something, then you will be able to release it not only from your physical body, but all the way out through your bubble, and it will be completely released. As it passes through your bubble, it becomes neutral energy so that it can be used again by someone else that doesn't have emotional stories or attachment to that energy, can utilize it for the greater good. In the same way that you're able to release things all the way out of your bubble, anything that you need, any knowledge that you require, any downloads that are coming in, any guides that want to meet with you, anything like that that's really adding to your mission will be allowed into your bubble. So again, semi-permeable. Anything that's strengthening you, holding you together, making those beliefs really solid, that'll stay inside of your bubble and will be allowed in. And anything that's holding you down, any limiting beliefs, anything that's blocking your highest potential will be released out of your bubble and immediately neutralized so that others may be able to collect it. Okay, I can see you guys all now in your bubbles. I love it. So now we're going to add we're going to take our bubble to the beach. Whatever beach, I say the word beach and you guys are all somewhere. I see all sorts of different beaches for you guys. So whichever beach works for you. Beautiful white sand, tall palm trees, clear blue water. Okay. It's one of those really nice like beaches that the water's inviting you, right? Like we're not going to a beach on the coast of North America where you can't get in even in the middle of summer, because we're going to be getting into this water. So bring yourself to a nice, beautiful, warm, tropical beach. And the water is just so inviting, and you're still surrounded by this bubble. We're going to slowly move into the water. And you find that you can either walk like into the water and your bubble just stays surrounded and it just rises around you, or let's see if we can float on top of the water for a second in our bubble. Like those big balls that the kids play in, and they're like water bubbles essentially, but they're playing on the top of it. We can run around in the plastic bubble on top of the water. We're going to do that with our own bubbles for a minute, and we're going to actually float in our bubble on the water so we can feel the waves, and we're going to just drift out to sea. In our bubble, totally safe. And already we can start feeling those fears starting to bubble up to the surface. Any fears of, oh my God, how am I going to get back to land? Or, holy shit, I'm really actually afraid of sharks. Anything like that, just allow those thoughts to come up and release them, knowing that they're moving fully out of your field. They're exiting your semi-permeable membrane of your bubble, and they're immediately being released and you are floating on the ocean in your safe bubble. And the land that you came from is getting further and further away, and any anxieties are just lifting and rising to the surface, and you're able to release them all the way out, all the way out. Coming back to your breath, remembering to breathe. You are safe. You are wise. You are brave. And you are loved. Now you are just floating in the ocean, and there is no land anywhere, in any direction. As you're floating here, I want you to notice if there are any guides that are going to come with you on this next leg of the journey. Are there any sea creatures? Is there other people in their bubbles? Maybe you hooked up with someone else who's on the live. Are there mermaids? Are there dragons? Are there angels? Anybody at all? And it's totally fine if there's no one. I just want us to all take a second and notice, because we are always surrounded by guides and beings of light that maybe we can't always see, but in this serene, soft, reflective space of being so safe and held in your bubble, what are you going to allow yourself to notice that's outside of your bubble, that's here to help you? What guides do you have helping you right now? Because we're really never alone. So just soften and really allow that guide to come up for you. Ask them their name. Just get to know them for a second. So now, no matter which guide you have with you, we're all going to notice over to our right an aquamarine dragon from Neptune. So this is a dragon that looks very much like a seahorse, just like a really, really, really big seahorse. And the aquamarine dragons from Neptune always carry a trident and always have this very regal look about them. The fins on the top of their head form like a crown looking shape. You can tell, this is like Trident right here. Trident. Ariel's father. Poseidon. And this aquamarine dragon will enable you to access the deepest soul. Time of Atlantis. So we're going to go down now. You don't need to hold your breath. Remember to keep breathing. Your bubble is semi-permeable, but you have plenty of oxygen in there. So we're going to go down into the ocean now. So allow your bubble to sink under the waves. Totally held, completely safe. You pop underneath and you notice, oh, I can breathe. Just like in your own miniature submarine. It cannot be crushed. It doesn't matter how low into the ocean we go. You are completely safe. Breathe. You are held. You are brave. You're surrounded by not only your own personal guides, but by the aquamarine dragons from Neptune. This is their kingdom. This is their land. Well, this is their ocean. Following the aquamarine dragon from Neptune now down. And we're floating down. We can still see like turtles and some dolphins. Like there's still clearly sunlight above us. We can see the sun reflecting down. There's plenty of beautiful greenery. It's not scary. You can see everything. We're going to keep sinking down and down. All the way. It's getting a little darker now, so let's just call in some of that bioluminescent algae to cling to our bubble a little bit so that we have our own personal light shining. And also using the light of your own solar plexus right now, just tapping into your own ability to see even in the dark. So pulling your own solar plexus, lighting that sun within you, just really making it bright, making your bubble bright, calling in some bioluminescent algae if you need to, whatever helps you to know that your bubble is creating the light around you that you need, that's emanating from within you. Even the algae is something you're constructing with your mind, so you are the one creating this reality right now under the depths of the ocean, inside of your safe bubble, being guided by your angels, guides, friends, sea creatures, and also the aquamarine dragon from Neptune, going even deeper now into the ocean. There's not as much life down here, or at least it doesn't seem like it because it's so dark, and yet there is. There are lanternfish, there are eels, all sorts of creatures are still down here. And they thrive in the dark. They thrive in this unconscious space, somewhere that no humans have ever really been. Going all the way down deep, deep, deep to the ocean floor. And you start to notice in the distance another glow. And it's the glow of the lost city of Atlantis. And there's something familiar about it. It feels like home. Some deep ache within you is just like, yes, please, I've been waiting for so long. And you kind of speed up your bubble. You're stoked on it. So you go a little faster. The dragons go a little faster. They're having fun now. Speed up, and you can see this gorgeous citadel rising in the distance. Huge golden palaces. And you can see the top spires of the halls of Golgotha. Golgotha being the capital city, the largest temple in Atlantis. And you arrive at Atlantis, and it's so familiar and yet so empty. Like whispers of the past. Perfectly preserved. The streets are still lined with gold and pearl cobblestones. The spires of all of the temples and towers are interwoven with platinum and diamonds, gold, and silver. But the friends that you remember walking these streets with, they're not here now. They have long passed with the fall of Atlantis. But you forgot something here. You forgot something and you need to go find it. So that's why we're here. So as you're exploring in your bubble with your friends, with the dragons, just playing in Atlantis, soaking in the ineffable and walk through that door into the building. And within the building, you don't need your bubble so much. So if that sort of fall away, just remember that you are held and you're protective. You're in this magical space known as Atlantis. And you're in this room, and the only thing in the room is you and a box. Just a plain box. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting. Just a plain box that has your name written on it. But it's not the name that you go by here on Earth in 2021. No, 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 no. This is your ancient Atlantean name. This is what you forgot in Atlantis when it fell. This is what has been trapped for thousands and thousands and thousands of years within your biology, within your crystalline DNA that is ready to be remembered. This box contains the aspects of yourself that you have kept hidden, and you are ready to reclaim them right here and right now in Atlantis. And take it with you. You open the box. So easy, just the touch of your hand opens it like it's one of those fingerprint gene encoded things where it's been waiting for thousands and thousands of years for you to open it, and even just a simple touch or even a blow over the lid opens it. What do you see inside of your box? Are there jewels? Are there clothes? Are there pens? Is there music? Is there art? What is there? Do not pay attention to the other sounds in the room around you. Just add to the depths. Don't worry about any noises going on. Just focus on what is in the box. Now, it's time to take the box with you, because you could sit here and look at this box forever. This is all of your ineffable soul wisdom. Ineffable means indescribable. Like, you will be able to sit here with this box for days and days and days and learn all of the wisdom that you need. The aquamarine dragons from Neptune are letting us know that it is time for us to start heading back. But as the guardians of Atlantis, they can't come back with us to the surface. They came to get us, but now they've got to stay in guard and make sure that all of this knowledge stays available. So we're going to actually ask the air dragons to come and help us. So instead of worrying about, oh my gosh, my box is so big I can't carry it, we're just going to put another bubble around your box. And you're going to have your bubble, and you're just going to like link up so that you don't have to worry about carrying it, you're not forgetting it, you're going to take it with you this time, and very easily, it's not heavy at all, it just floats next to you. We wave goodbye to the aquamarine dragons from Neptune, being so grateful for our connection with them, knowing that we are unlocking our psychic abilities every time we connect to them. We're so grateful for them to be the protectors of Atlantis, for keeping this soul knowledge available for anyone at any time to connect to through their own practices. And we're going to call upon the air dragons to help call us back up from the depths. They're setting out a little honing beacon so that we can find them as we come back up through the layers of the ocean. We don't need to have our bubbles so bright right now because the sunlight is coming through. We're starting to see the clownfish and the sea anemones and the coral and the dolphins and the starfish. We're just being pulled almost like a tractor beam up out of the oceans, and we see the air dragons, and they're pretty high up above the ocean, and we keep going up. So we're no longer bobbing around in the ocean. We are flying in our bubble with our box above the ocean. We're rising higher and higher above any earthly matters that may have weighed us down before. They're just gone. They're just released. Don't even remember what I was worried about. Seeing life from this higher perspective, we're able to see now all these boats on the ocean and these islands. We're able to go anywhere we want, and we can see the world from this higher perspective. Now that we have all of this soul knowledge from the depths, we can see why it's so important that we show up. Why it's so important to release those limiting beliefs and let them just fall out of our bubble, and to hold on to the beliefs that strengthen our integrity and our commitment to our mission of building New Earth. Just floating around the world in your bubble for a minute again, just getting this higher perspective, knowing that you have the depth of knowledge of the ancient as well as the perspective of bringing in future technologies, future innovations, so that one day every man, every woman, and every child on planet Earth will have access to clean drinking water and healthy, nutritious food and warm shelter and medicine, to be able to explore their unconscious mind in a safe way that allows them to release the traumas of the past and embrace their own future, to create heaven on earth right here, right now. And it all starts with you making a commitment to keep this bubble of peace all of the time around you, this semi-permeable membrane that allows for the negative and the traumas and the stories to be released outwards, and allows positivity and empowerment and joy and love and bliss inwards. Heaven on earth begins with you. Every moment of every day that you choose to live as an angel here on earth, as a dragon here on earth with ancient magic, impenetrable scales, living for thousands and thousands of years, cheating death over and over and over again. You have the ability to change the world by changing one aspect of yourself. And that one aspect is that you are not worthy of that, what's in that box. You are worthy of it. So if you've been keeping your box in a separate bubble near you, I invite you now to bring that box into your own bubble. And I invite you to hold that box tight as we come back, landing on Earth again, landing back on that beach. Slowly saying goodbye to that scene and coming back into the room that you're in. Still holding the box. You still have the box. Got it. Your bubble of peace now becoming holographic May even seem like it's invisible to you now, but it's not. It's always there, being emitted by the frequency of your heart, by the frequency of your thoughts. Slowly coming back into the room, wiggling your fingers and toes, stretching up above your head. If you're lying on the ground, rub your feet together and your hands together at the same time. If you were sitting that whole time, just rub your hands. Okay. Rolling onto one side, slowly pushing yourself up. Rubbing your hands together again at your heart center. Lifting them up above you and clap. Drawing that energy down. Resting your hands quietly in your lap. We're going to just take about 2 or 3 minutes to allow you guys to jot down any notes that you want to make sure that you remember. And then anything you want to share in the comments, feel free to do that too. Okay. Beautiful, guys. So good. Okay. That was not meant to happen. Okay. Beautiful. I would love to know about your experiences. I'm going to share. We already talked about 2 dragons. They showed up. Was not expecting that, but I mean, am I surprised? No. But I do have 2 other cards that I pulled that I want to make sure that we talk about before we leave. Okay. I saw those dragons before you said them. I'm Athena, and my box has a beautiful crown and jewels. Ah, oh, that is so powerful. So beautiful. I love it. My Atlantean name was Seraph. So good. You guys are so good. I love it. Ah, so good. Okay. So, I don't know what's happening. Let's go ahead and look at these dragon cards. Keep the comments coming. I love it. I want to see them all. I also want to make sure that I'm actually seeing the comments, so we're gonna see if this works. Sometimes it does not work so well. Okay, perfect. Okay, yay. You can see it. Hard to see the name, but it starts with an A. The box was full of light, and then glass lyra. That is amazing. My box was gold crystals and a large book. See? Okay, so now you guys have these tools. You can connect with them whenever. I'm actually going to show you the dragons that were guiding us. They want to be seen. So this deck that I use is the this is the Dragon Oracle deck by Diane Cooper. So if you ever get a Dragon Oracle reading from me, or of course it was on the top, anything like that, this or Bespoke Dragon Invocation, these are the cards that I use. So this is the dragon, the aquamarine dragon from Neptune. So you can always call upon them again. They are the ones that help us to like really develop those psychic abilities, that deep subconscious abilities that Pisces is so well known for. And then this is our air dragon. And the air dragon being the one that helps us to just communicate and like arise above earthly matters, right? So both of them were with us, really honoring those seahorses are the version that we can connect to here as like earthly animal creatures, and then really any birds, but especially sparrows are what the air dragon, like when you see sparrows, they're just like little things and they just like don't care and they're flitting about. So those two dragons are the ones we already worked with. We had two more that are really wanting to be spoken of before we are done, and they are a white and a black one. So this new moon, this new dark moon, really still calling us to like see our vision of the future in its grandness and still just like be able to rest in this peaceful, like I love the bubble of peace. Like that's something that I got from hypnobirthing. It's one of the terms that they use, and I adore it, with that idea that you can totally be in control of what's going on, what you're allowing to release, what you're allowing to come in, and that it's your bubble, right? It's your bubble of peace. So the first dragon that's coming in here is this silver lunar dragon. So, I mean, are we really surprised that the moon dragon came in? No, not so much. Bathes you in divine feminine light. So, again, we're not doing a lot of action taking, right? We just did that whole, you could do this meditation as often as you want. And it's very gentle, right? It's a very gentle, feminine way of processing instead of that masculine, like go do, right? Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. So we were working with the elements, we were working with our guides, we were working with the animals. All of these things are dragons. Coming into that cooperation, knowing that you're not here to build new earth by yourself. There's all of us. There was 6 of us watching this live stream. Like at one point there was up to 11 people on this live, right? You're in a group of 255 people that all at some level or another are here to play with dragons and to be leaders, right? This isn't just super conscious learnings. This is super conscious leaders. So you have community. There are people. You have how people. They exist. You don't have to be a lone soldier any longer. And then she also helps us to expand our causal chakra. So again, the chakra that's above your head about 18 inches, it's like a big moon. This is your imagination plane. This is literally like the play field, the quantum, the first layer of thoughts, right? So your imagination. So expanding that imagination. How can I use what was given to me in this box, this book? Like, what the fuck does this mean? And how is that getting me to my goals? And like starting to make that connection and starting to really play with like, wow, I am an Atlantean priestess or priest. Like, holy shit, I have knowledge of the depths of the halls of Golgotha. Like, this is not just what an average human is carrying around in her or his DNA. Like, this is mine and this is special and this is what I am meant to give to the world. This is what I've been hiding in this box and ready to share it, right? So she's really just inviting you to stay in that playful place and that feminine flow, okay? Meanwhile, the black dragon from Saturn came up, so another dragon within our solar system. Saturn has been speaking a lot recently. Really to tell us like it's time to claim the throne that we were born to sit on. Meaning, yeah, we are super conscious leaders and it's time to take freaking leadership positions. And I'm not just talking about within your own business, like running for city council, running for mayor, showing up and wanting to be a part of these bigger boardrooms, right? Like going back into the corporate world. There's a few of my clients that are going back into corporate world because they know that they can be more effective in managerial positions and this, that, and the other, and create bigger and more change than they can still being one-on-one. Even though they're like very successful coaches, they can see that they're being drawn back into leadership positions within corporate America so that we can have this, like, I call it trickle down super consciousness. You know, if you've got CEOs and all these things of these big companies that are all super conscious, they are going to align their businesses so that we can release the middle class and this idea of working like essentially slave labor, even though they're getting paid, but just barely enough to get by, right? We want everyone to be empowered. We want everyone to be in their zone of genius. We want everyone to be creating their life of heaven on earth. So the black dragon from Saturn gives us more of that practicality of it, saying like it's time to bring your wisdom through a spiritual discipline. So while you're meditating with your box, just sitting there meditating, like sometimes you forget what you were meditating on, right? Like some of you are probably going to go back and re-listen to this and maybe even start taking notes during the meditation. I will often even actually create spaces like that sometimes in my meditations where I'm like, okay, everyone pop back out for a second, write down your answer. Okay, let's go back in. This time I didn't feel called to do that, but you're welcome to at any time if you want to re-listen to the meditation. So a spiritual discipline. This is your daily disciplines. This is your back to basics. This is, am I waking up in the morning and connecting to the earth? Am I connecting to Gaia? Do I know that I'm supported? Do I know that all of my earthly needs are taken care of because I'm on soul mission for the planet? Are you eating the right foods? Are you drinking enough water? Are you breathing? Are you practicing any mirror work practices? Like, what are the daily spiritual disciplines you need to take the knowledge, that ineffable soul wisdom of Atlantis, and translate it into the 21st century? Okay, so we're doing that. He also lets you know that you've passed a test, meaning just getting here to this point means that you are like, whew, like if you've had a harsh couple of months. I know some of you guys know me a little bit more personally, and so you know, like it's been a crazy few months since the end of October. I write in a journal every single day, morning and night, and from November 8th to January 1st, I didn't make a single journal entry. Not one. I made a couple of notes here and there. I did some channeling here and there, but not my like daily morning card pull and my dreams, and not my evening. How did this like relate? Nothing for 6 weeks. And the last 6 weeks have been pretty crazy too. So if you've been going through that, again, it's not that it's over, it's that you've now passed the test and you know how to have those things like coming at you, and you can say I'm an empath and I feel it all, and being feeling it all means that I'm very tuned in and tapped in and focused on my soul mission, right? So creating that discipline, concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision, but congratulate yourself because you've gotten to this point. You now have your soul wisdom from Atlantis, your current knowledge of how your life is, who you are in this lifetime, who you've been, how to stop those thought patterns and just like brainwash yourself into knowing who you were born to be as a super conscious leader of the age of Atlantis or age of Aquarius. Okay, like that is who you are. You are a dragon here to be a leader of the Age of Aquarius. The next golden age of miracles is because you're showing up today and doing the motherfucking work. So, like, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a, like, fuck yeah. Like, you are here. You are doing this. You just spent the last 30 minutes with me in a deep meditation in multidimensional space being healed by dragons and mermaids and devas and all of the elementals. Like, you are doing the work. So congratulate yourself. Go look in a mirror, give yourself a high five, give yourself a kiss, do whatever you need to, and just know that you're so supported and you are doing this. This is what matters, that you create a spiritual daily discipline, even if it's okay, I'm going to connect to my box and I'm going to channel. I'm just going to write for the next 15 minutes. And you do that every day for like the next 2 weeks leading up to the full moon. You're going to have so much knowledge, and your questions of, well, how does this matter, is going to be given to you. It's just going to be handed to you. You're either going to have physical, corporeal, like people that show up in your life that show you how, or you're going to channel the answer straight from your highest self, straight from your guides, straight from all of the other beings of light who are rooting for us. Like, they want us to build this planet in New Earth. They want heaven on earth to exist. Earth is a pleasure planet, and the rest of our intergalactic community wants it to be back to that again. Okay? Like, that is the goal. So let me check comments one more time. And so good. Yeah, amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here live. I know the tech can sometimes be an issue when we run really, really high energy like this. It just happens. So, new moon work today. Just rest, okay? Like, go take an Epsom salt bath. Go just like be with your box for a little while. Like, I'm literally seeing the scene from Harry Potter where they have the egg and they can't figure out how to open it, right? And they open it, it's like, ah! But they go get into the pool, the bathtub, and they're able to open it and they can hear it underneath, right? That's also what might happen. You might open your box and you're like, oh shit, I don't like it. I don't know what's in there. I don't fucking like it at all. So just like start to trust that what's in your box is meant for you. It might seem like, oh fuck, I opened my box and there was a skeleton key and there was like a skull and there was like some coins covered in blood. Like, I don't really know what the fuck to do with this. Like, it's okay. I hold death codes, guys. Like, I help people transcend death and like ego deaths, like the biggest level that you can think of, like all of the shame, all of the ways that like cancel culture can affect our minds. Like, that is my zone of fucking genius right there. My box is not always a pretty one. Like, it's not always got the most beautiful things in there, but I know that it's what I'm meant to be birthing into this reality so that other people can have it. It's why I'm the dragon doula, right? We're birthing dragons here. We're turning our human form into dragon form. That is going to look scary to some people. You just need to know that you are here and that you are in alignment because of the body feel that you get when you're in that deep meditative space, when you're surrounded and held in your bubble of peace. No matter what the fuck chaos is going around out here, you are held. You live heaven on earth every single moment of every single day. And when a thought comes up that is not in alignment with heaven on earth, you think it and you kindly tell it to shut the fuck up and you choose a new thought. Yes. Grabbed my glass pyramid and did my plants just now. Yes. So good. So good. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I love you. Yeah, journal. Let's do this thing. Take a bath, journal, drink water, drink lots of water. When you work with dragons, you guys, drinking water is probably the most important thing I can tell you to do today. Drink tons and tons of water to help flush your system out. Um, I, it's just facts. Like, you're rewiring your neurology, so you want to take care of this physical form. We're creating body resonance fields that then shoot out the electromagnetism of our heart. Our heart creates a magnetic field that's 5 times larger than our brain. So you can think all the thoughts that you want, but if you don't feel like those thoughts are true, they're not going to magnetize what you desire. So this is like creating that mind heart connection where, like, yeah, I can imagine making $1 million in a month, and then I feel it in my heart. I'm like, hell yeah, $1 million in a month. Like, yeah, let's go do that. Let's go change the fucking planet, right? Like, you want you want it all to be in alignment. If you're looking for a more personalized way to do that, bespoke dragon invocations are literally the best way to do that. So please reach out if you want to book for that. Make it, or the mirror work masterclass is next week on Friday at 10 a.m. We'll teach you more about doing some of those spiritual I know I point here. I hope you guys can figure out this fucking mirror. Um, Mirror work masterclass is my favorite daily discipline, also because I can do it anywhere. So if I'm like at a party and I start falling out of resonance, there's always a bathroom. So there's always a mirror. So I can always go back and do my mirror work, and I can always snap back into my highest frequency as Dragon Empress Karen, right? Can do that. Yeah, do all the things. I love you. Reach out if you need any additional support. I'm so excited. Thank you for spending your Saturday morning or whatever time of day it is, Christopher, evening, all you guys around the world. It just brings me so much joy that we have this global community from all over the place connecting, building together this beautiful golden dragon energy that's going to help us shift the planet. So good. Okay. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are. Drink lots of water, take a bath, journal, do all the things.